Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Now, today, we're going to correct some false information that's going around. Now, today, we got to go back to math class because it seems like some of us may have forgot to do math. We might have forgot how to add and subtract and multiply and divide. So we got to go take it back to 4th grade math class. Now, I'm seeing rumors circulating that the captain has given away 85% of his nation's gold supply, right? That's the rumors that I'm hearing circulating. They're saying that 85% of the nation's gold supply has gone to Russia. I know it sounds crazy, but today we're going to debunk that. Let's get into it. Take a look up on the screen. Burkina Faso deepens Russia ties with a new gold mining deal. The Nayu gold deposit, located in the Coriago province in Burkina Faso's Central Plateau region, spans 52 square kilometers within the exploration license area previously held by Gilbert Burkina, now owned by Nord Gold. According to the Council of Ministers, the Nayu project is expected to produce around 20.22 metric tons of gold over its 8-year lifespan. Okay, so Burkina Faso has signed an 8-year deal with a Russian company by the name of Nord Gold, right? And the deal is supposed to be for the Nayu gold deposit. Now let's continue. Burkina Faso has 17 industrial scale gold mines. In 2023, these mines produced approximately 57.3 tons of gold. Now take a look up on the screen. Let's say each bar of gold represented a gold mine, right? So this deal with Russia is in regards to the Nayu gold deposit. So that means that is a single mine out of 17 industrial scale gold mines. Now, an industrial scale mine is a large scale operation that requires a lot of capital to get started and a lot of capital to maintain, as well as a lot of heavy machinery in order to carry out the day-to-day operations. Now, when you add in the smaller scale gold mines that are not on the industrial scale level that Burkina Faso has, now you're looking at over 400 gold mines in total. So this deal with Russia is only in regards to one single mine in the whole country out of 17 industrial scale mines and 440 smaller scale gold mines. So the nation has about 457 gold mines in total. So this one gold mine is less than 1% out of all the gold mines in the country, right? So we got to get that out the way first, right? That's why I say we got to know how to do mathematics when we're interpreting data, right? Now, going back to the article, it says that the gold mine on the Russia deal is going to produce around 20 metric tons of gold over an 8-year period. So it's an 8-year deal, and over that 8-year time span is going to produce 20 tons of gold. So let's calculate how much that would be. 20 divided by 8 years, that means that the gold mine is going to produce 2.5 tons of gold per year, right? 2.5 tons. Now, if you remember, in 2023, the nation produced 57.3 tons of gold for that calendar year in that single year. That means that out of 57 tons of gold, this gold mine is only going to produce about 2 tons of gold per year out of the nation's 57 tons of gold being produced. That means that this gold mine is only going to represent less than 5% of the national output. About 4% of the total gold output is going to come from this gold mine, right? That means that every year this gold mine is going to produce, let's say at the current price of gold, which is $3,370. That means that at 2.5 tons per year, this gold mine is going to generate $270 million, right? But the nation produced 57.3 tons of gold for 2023. So in total, that would have been $6.2 billion. So out of 6.2 billion, which is 57 tons, that gold mine only is going to account for a little under 300 million. So when you really break down the deal by the numbers, you see that the nation is only leveraging a fraction of the gold supply. Around 4% of the total gold supply is being leveraged in this deal with Russia. Now, what I'd be interested to know is what that gold is being leveraged for, What are you getting in exchange? I'm sure it could be a variety of things. I could name a variety of things that I would ask for if I was the Minister of Defense, if I was the Minister of the Economy. It's a few things that I would ask for in that deal. That's what I'd be curious about. What were the terms and conditions of the deal? And what is the nation getting in return in exchange for the 2.5 tons of gold per year, right? So that $270 million each year, what are you getting in exchange? Could that be $270 million worth of military hardware? For example, a single drone costs like a few million. But let's say with this deal, you could now finance an entire fleet of drones every single year, basically gold for guns, right? You could negotiate a deal like that, or it could be a variety of things. You could negotiate for armored vehicles, ammunition, anti-drone systems, anti-air defense systems, artillery, all type of different things that you could leverage in exchange in the gold deal. So a fraction of your gold supply in exchange for a whole bunch of military technology to enhance the national defense. That's one thing you could leverage. That's the most obvious thing, especially with the current insurgency going on right now. But there's a variety of things that you could leverage besides those things, infrastructure, technology, a variety of sectors you could go to. But to me, the most obvious would be national defense, military technology, military hardware. That's what I would do. Gold for guns, gold for ammunition, gold for equipment, gold for aircrafts, gold for all type of different things to strengthen my national defense apparatus. Now let's continue. Gilbert Burkina will maintain an 85% interest in the project, with the Burkinabe government holding a 15% stake. This arrangement does not require any financial contribution from the government. Burkina Faso produced 57 tons of gold in 2023, placing it fourth among African gold producers. The country's mining ministry projects potential output could reach 80 tons by 2028 if security conditions improve and planned investments materialize. Now, that's where some individuals got confused and they believe that the captain done signed away 85% of the nation's gold over to Russia. No, this deal is in regards to one single gold mine in the country. The country has 17 large-scale industrial-scale gold mines in total and 440 smaller scale gold mines. So in total, about 457 gold mines in the country. This deal is only in regards to one single gold mine that is only going to produce only 2.5 tons of gold per year out of the dozens and dozens of tons of gold that get produced annually. This is only going to account for only 2.5 tons, less than 5%. But by leveraging this gold mine in combination with the surging price of gold, you can now make a lot of large purchases over a long period of time. Let's say, for example, like I said, they leverage this in exchange for military hardware, right? You could have a fleet of drones in the sky. You could have a fleet of anti-air missiles ready to defend the borders. You could have a convoys of armored vehicles on the ground. It's a lot of things you can leverage in exchange for, $200 million a year. I'll say that. If I was the Minister of Defense, listen, it's a lot of things I'd be bringing into the country with that $200 million, right? Just a fraction of the gold can get you a lot of equipment. And keep in mind, after the end of the 8 years, the gold mine can fall back into the hands of the government. And that's in comparison to other deals. For example, the last president in Niger, the one who got overthrown by the military. Do you know that he signed away the uranium mines over to France for like the next 50 years, right? He signed like a 50-year deal with the French government. This deal in particular is only going to last 8 years. So by 2033, the deal is over. So the next president, the next guy in charge, he's not going to be stressed out with all these contracts and deals locking him in for the next, 50 years, where it's way more flexibility with this deal. And it's only a fraction of the gold being leveraged in exchange for a lot that you could get if you ask for it. So, to me, if you somehow saw this story and believe that the captain signed away 85% of his national gold supply of a single gold mine out of like 457 gold mines, then I'm sorry to tell you, but you probably did not do good at math. You probably were not the best at math if you somehow believe that one single gold mine that only produced 20 tons of gold out of hundreds of tons of gold over 8 years represents 85% of the national gold supply. In reality, this deal only represents, like I said, less than 5% of the national gold supply, around 4% in total. And in the terms of the contract, there's no financial contribution required, which means that the government doesn't have to put up a single dollar. The company is putting up all the money. So the government takes its cut, and in exchange, the money that goes to Russia can be leveraged for whatever the captain wants to leverage it for. I already told you what I would do. Like I said, jets in the sky, armored vehicles on the ground, missiles, surface to air, air to surface, everything, the whole nine. That's what I would do, but that's just me. Now, going back to the article, it said that the country's mining ministry says that they could reach 80 tons of gold produced annually by 2028 if security conditions improve. So let's say they reach 80 tons of gold produced annually. That means over the next 8 years, that would be 640 tons of gold. Now, if you remove this gold mine that is involved with the Russia deal, that means that 620 tons of gold still remains. That means if you remove this gold mine, you still have hundreds of tons of gold still on the table. So that goes to show you this represents only a tiny fraction of the total national output. So no, the captain did not sign away 85% of his national gold supply. He only leveraged 3 to 4% of the national gold supply over a period of 8 years. And after that 8 years, that gold mine can fall back into the possession of the government. So listen, some of y'all got to go back to math class, learn how to do math, learn how to divide and subtract and carry over the decimal. Some of y'all was falling asleep in math class, and we can tell. Now, what I would be curious about is what is the captain leveraging in exchange for that 3 to 4%? What is he leveraging in exchange for that gold mine? That's what I'd be curious to know. So anyways, man, a few of y'all been asking me to make a video on this topic. So I didn't really think I had to, because I honestly thought everybody knew how to do mathematics. I thought everybody growing up, when you was in the 3rd, 4th grade, your mom and your dad sat down with you at the table to help you with your algebra. But apparently not everybody had that. So yeah, I had to come through and shed light on the numbers and the terms of the deal. Now, anyways, man, go to that Patreon, patreon.com/NTD1814. Speaking of gold, right? Earlier today on that Patreon, I dropped a video last night entitled Mali versus Barrick Gold and the World Bank. So take a look up on the screen. Barrick Gold wants to go to the World Bank in order to stop the Mali government from taking over their gold mine, right? So the government in Mali is trying to take over the gold mine from Barrick Gold. So they're trying to run to the World Bank and get the World Bank to intervene on their behalf, right? Join that Patreon. We broke that down on the Patreon. Go check it out. NTD1814. Link in the description. Pin comment at the top. Let's get into it. And once you join that Patreon, you get access to dozens of videos, several videos that have never been uploaded to YouTube. Enjoy yourself, man. Join the Patreon family. Now, also, check out the album, Sahel 1816. Go to my homepage, go to my playlist section. Enjoy the album, and I'm gone. Peace.
Took on my losses and now I got racks. Took on my losses and made that shit back. Plan to make gold, I need plenty of plaques. Making my enemies empty the stash. Feel like a me, I feel like Chiani. African gold is all over my body. African diamonds adorning my fingers. African kid when you look at my features. Enemy watching, I gotta get paid. Enemy watching and stalking my page. Watching my moves and they study my ways. Copy my energy, riding my wave. Enemy watching me like an obsession. Heart of a king, I don't need no acceptance. No, they gon' try but can't stop the progression. No, they gon' try but can't stop the ascension. Foot on the gas and I gotta go hard. Straight to the top, I've been down for too long. Plot of revenge, I'ma make them regret it. Ain't no more talking, I got too much leverage. Talking uranium, diamonds and gold. Keep that shit real, I wish death on my foes. Keep that shit real, I ain't blocking my blessings. Stacking my profit and then I invest it. Feeling untouchable, energy sacred. When I pull up, know my enemies hate. Setting up shop at a secret location. Chopper gon' sound like a standing ovation. Moving in silence, I never been regular. One of a kind, I ain't got no competitors. Son of a king, I'm the kingdom inheritor. Do what I want, I don't care what you telling us. State of myself, me and my team. Walk in the spot, but they knowin' my name. Beautiful passenger, bet she gon' ride. Keep it authentic, I'm never gon' change. Always been solid, I'm built to survive. Gotta stay focused, I'm deep in the game. Never surrender, I got too much pride. Took all my losses and stayed in my lane.